All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, the issue of insecurity in Nigeria is scarier now than it has ever been. For the past 3 days, security forces have been battling with kidnappers around Abuja. And it is beginning to look like these criminals are bolder than ever. After the events of 2023, how Buhari's ministers stole blatantly, how INEC went back on the Electoral Act and guidelines, judiciary turned the constitution on its head, there is this feeling that the country is like a mining site and everyone is just a miner trying to get the best he or she can get for his or her family. It is one of the reasons these criminals are going all out. This is just January and they have made enough trouble for the year. But that is not even the major case right now. There is a more sinister possibility that this insecurity has taken a worse dimension. Few days ago, there was an explosion in Oyo State, Ibadan. That explosion left some dead and very many injured and homeless. As we speak, 230 houses are undergoing structural integrity test. That is to see if they are still inhabitable. 230 houses. That is to tell you the extent of that explosion. The governor, Seyi Makinde, claimed it was caused by illegal miners who stored explosive in their houses. But just few hours ago, very terrible updates are coming out of Kaduna and Rivers states, and Nigerians are so tensed. Before I show you the updates and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this disgraceful protest. Humanitarian Affairs Minister Betta Edu clearly tried to embezzle 585 million naira. And this group of women gathered to protest in her support. And guess what? They are using TINUBU's theme song. Meaning, if you can be endorsed, then what is wrong with Betta Edu? See the video. Now you heard that. They sang Bola, on your mandate we shall stand, while asking him to bring back the suspended minister. This is a minister who clearly embezzled hundreds of millions. This means that this is what Bola's mandate is all about. But shameless old men like Wole Soyinka will not see this. All he sees are youths complaining about the nation on social media. And he was properly schooled when he came out yesterday to say this. Barbarians have taken over social media. However, intellectuals will rescue us from the monstrosity that the social media has become. And by barbarians, he is referring to young people who are complaining about the state of the nation. But they came down heavily on him with points. They began showing him the things that he said that qualify him as the president of barbarians in the whole of this country. This guy tweeted sarcastically. He said, "Professor, you are right. These barbarians should be dealt with. They called Jonathan a drunk and terrorist, and his wife a hippopotamus. And some of them had first-class degrees and Nobel Prize." Now, this guy is referring to Soyinka. Soyinka called Jonathan a drunk and a terrorist. He said Jonathan was worse than Nebuchadnezzar, and he called Jonathan's wife a hippopotamus. Imagine this shameless old man now coming out to call young people barbarians. And this tweet by Babatunde says, "Of all the problems facing Nigeria, Prof is concerned about protesting young men and women on social media, challenging the quality of his preferred intellectual class." I'm telling you, this man is seriously having a problem. He needs urgent medical attention. This tweet by Patriotic Nigerian says, "Because of people like Wole Soyinka, people conclude that education is a scam. How can a man be so schooled and yet worthless in providing reasonable discussions?" Very worthless. This tweet by M.E. Bello says, The prof has forgotten that he is the Grand Commanding Officer of the Association of Barbarians Nigerian branch. Yes, he is. He clearly is. This tweet by Queen B says, said by another barbarian who took over a radio station in the 90s during the Akintola debacle, Professor Gbajue. Yes, this same Wole Soyinka went into a radio station with a gun to the head of the presenter to prevent him from making an announcement. And he has the nerves to call people barbarians for what they see on social media. What a sick man. Now, let us look at the tragic updates coming out of Kaduna and Rivers states only few days after the massive explosion in Ibadan. Look at how the papers reported it. 1 killed, 10 injured in Kaduna explosion. An explosion in Kidandan village of Giwa local government area of Kaduna state has claimed the life of a pupil of an Islamia school, while 10 others have reportedly been injured. The overseeing Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arwan, in a statement on Saturday in Kaduna said the explosion was being thoroughly investigated by the security agencies. Mr. Arwan said, according to preliminary reports from the traditional institution and security agencies, one of the pupils learning under a local cleric picked up an object from the bush, which later exploded amidst his fellow pupils. He said that as at the time of this update, one pupil, Zaidu Usman, has been confirmed dead, while about 10 others injured were receiving medical attention at the Ahmadu Bello University Teaching Hospital, Shikazaria. Mr. Arwan said Governor Ubasani of the state has received the report with shock and sadness. He has sent commiserations to the victims and their families, praying for the repose of the soul of the deceased and a quick recovery for the wounded. He said the governor has also appealed to the parents and community leaders to increase their vigilance on the activities of their children and wards, given their susceptibility to various dangers. Mr. Arwan also said that the governor had directed the ministry to liaise with the security agencies for an urgent investigation into the cause of the explosion. According to him, this is to ensure the safety of the residents, mobilize emergency support, and ensure prompt medical attention to the victims. Mr. Arwan further said that updates will be duly communicated to the public by the state government. Now, first of all, when they say one died, you know that is about 10 dead. And we are talking about a bomb here, so the ones injured will hardly survive. But look at the ridiculous story behind this. They said a pupil went into the bush and picked something up, and that thing exploded amidst other pupils. So how safe are we if terrorists are now dropping grenades inside bush for children to bring back home? When there was an explosion in Ibadan, the governor gave a very ridiculous explanation. He said it is illegal miners that kept explosive in their houses. Now it has happened in Kaduna. We are hearing a more ridiculous explanation that pupils went into the bush to bring bomb. Then bang, another one happens in Rivers State. And look at how the papers reported it. Explosion rocks Ajib facility in Rivers, and there is tension everywhere because the explosions in Kaduna and Rivers State happened few hours ago, almost concurrently. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Look at some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here says, you will soon hear that the children were mining illegally in the bush, which caused the explosion. And this tweet by Alex Ola says, this is beginning to seem like a 1 week, one trouble situation. God have mercy. And Anima Shaun Idris answered by saying, nope, an everyday situation now. That is it. Every day, one bad news. And Jesse here says, what the hell is happening? Watching Channel's news just now, and there was explosion also in Nasarawa and Rivers also. What the hell is going on in this country? And Jesse there was responding to the explosion in Kaduna. And this tweet here says, what the hell is going on in this country? Barely 4 days after Ibadan explosion, another one again. Nigeria is gone For real. And the worst situation is that we cannot even hear the truth from the government. They are all about propaganda, trying to cover up the actual situation. And this tweet by Henry Edition says, the soil does not like TINUBU. Nigeria does not like TINUBU. The result is what you are saying. And this tweet by Antenna says, explosion just they occur everywhere for Nigeria. Now, wow, what a terrible situation. The worst part of all this is that the people are not even being told the whole truth. The people don't know the true state of things. But how can APC and TINUBU open up when it was this same party that brought this nation to this level of insecurity? And just as I keep saying, the major problems of this country, the major problems that Nigeria is faced with as a nation will never be solved if the APC is not kicked out of power. Nigerians have one last chance to do so. We already know we cannot have true democracy through the ballot alone. A revolution must come with it. Whether it will come today, whether it will come tomorrow, whether na 2027 it will come, time will tell. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here. So, don't go away. Don't go.